You're watching PEGRI TV, Rhode Island's public access channel.
Salam. My name is Sheikh Abu Hakim Abdullah, President Chairman of Al Masjid Sharia Allah, a non-profit Islamic program operating in the state of Rhode Island, USA. I come to you today or tonight, whenever you're looking at it, to talk to you about what happened 10 years ago, which is the 10th anniversary of the invasion of Iraq. Now, everybody's talking about it now, about the lies that have been told. Well, people like myself told the President of the United States in letters and on TV that what he's saying is a lie, that Hussein was not connected with the terrorists, and he wasn't in bed with the terrorists in any way whatsoever. But like always, the people out there, especially our European cousins, or brothers, or whatever you want to call us, have a thing in their heart where they don't listen to people like me. They listen to their desires, their likes and dislikes of their personal likes and dislikes, and the hatred in their hearts. A lot of them, quite a few of them. So many of them, but they can sway ideas. And this is what they did. They voted for this invasion. They voted for this war. They voted for the killing not only of Hussein, but of the people and children and old people and old women that in the city. Anytime you're dropping bombs, you're killing more than the so-called army. You're killing the citizens that lived there, the citizens that had nothing to do with what's going on, really. So they went to war. Now, 10 years later, the people found out that the president and his immediate staff lied about the things they was talking about he had and was going to do, all this kind of stuff. Hussein would not have went to war if the ambassador to Iraq did not give him permission to do so by saying to him, when he asked about if Kuwait was invaded, what would they do? And the ambassador said for the United States and the so-called Western world that they do not interfere in other people's affairs and other people's invasions. And so that night, he released his troops to go into Kuwait. Now, the president don't think that nobody was looking at what was going on, but there's many people that seen that and heard that, and heard him also say that he had two prisoners of bin Laden's people in prison, and was looking for the second one. There was 4 loose terrorists in Iraq that they were looking for at that time. After the war, there's gobs of them, packs of them in Iraq. And during the war, there's packs of them in Iraq. So not only did the United States cause a war, but the United States brought the terrorism into Iraq. So I just want you to hear, to hear that and to hear another side. You can't just say, "Oops, I'm sorry." Oh, I'm sorry I didn't listen, and keep going on like that. Well, there's people out here today that's pressing that they be arrested and charged like they charge everybody else. What they do that kind of stuff. They rent and charge a brother in Africa, 2 or 3 brothers in Africa, for that kind of stuff, and they charge the Germans for that kind of stuff against the Jews, and so on. So I'm saying that it's time that the United States people recognize that they got a thing in their heart and a thing in their mind that we are told, Muslims are told, to watch out for from the Quran and the Hadiths. The Quran and this other book here, which, like I said before, is 9 volumes. The book on the bottom. We are told that when desires and lust and those things enter the hearts of the believers and the Muslim, so does the devil. So does evil. So does revenge and all this other stuff that we live by. All the hatreds and stuff and things that we live under into the hearts of the people. And that's what the devil thing is, all the envy and hatred and all that thing that we got in ourselves that we don't want to, we don't admit that it's there, like we some kind of hypothetical gods or something. So we don't admit that. Man himself think he's some kind of god, and certain people think they some kind of god over people. They don't admit that they just as evil as the person that they call it evil. And that's what happened. So I wanted you to know, the people, and I want the Muslims to see what they're trying to become a part of. We're trying to become a part of this so-called democracy, the democratic system. The democratic system helps people to act like what they did. It encourages that I can push my thing on you and you don't have nothing to say about it, if I can get enough people to vote against it. And this is what he did, what they did. They went and got Congress to vote for war. They went and got Congress to vote against everything. They didn't listen to what was being said out the country. I wrote and told them a letter. I wrote a letter, and I know that the president got to read it, because not only did the president read it, but somebody sent the FBI to my house to investigate me after writing it. Well, I'm not a communist. I'm not a terrorist. I'm not a socialist. I'm not any of those things that they try to say. Yes, I'm somewhat of a fundamentalist, as a dictionary says. A fundamentalist is somebody that wishes to have the religion go back to its original way of life. And that's what I'm hoping for, that my brothers and sisters will be able to pick up their garments, put on the right garments, and go back to the fundamental ways of our religion, our way of life. It's not just a Sunday thing. It's a 7-day thing. It's a 7-day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year way of life. They don't have no days off or nothing. We don't have no days off. Sunday we don't rest. Sunday we do the same thing Sunday we do as Monday. We don't have no days off. This is a way of life. It doesn't have weekends off and break time and all that other. It doesn't have that. You in bed, as just going to bed. You got to go to bed underneath laws and regulations of Islam. You shouldn't sleep on your left side. Men shouldn't lay on their stomach. All this kind of stuff. This going to bed. Going to bed. You're told what to do. Sleeping. So we don't have that kind of way of life where you can sin on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday you go to church and make a prayer and it's all forgotten about. No, we don't have that. We do not have that. We don't have nobody that we say sacrifice their lives for us. Each man and woman and child, each man, woman, and child over 12 years old, over puberty or in puberty, is responsible for their own way of life, or for their own sins, for their own misgivings, for their own shortcomings. And this is what the President of the United States and President of Cuba and President everywhere else is responsible. You see, this is why we have no kings in Islam. Because they don't want to take responsibility for their mistakes. They say they got that power to rule over their people. So I'm saying this to you, I'm saying this to the Muslims, look at what you're trying to become a part of. That thing was a lie and killed thousands of people. Killed thousands of non-combatants. It killed way more combatants than it did the army that was fighting against the other army. Believe me. You can believe that. They went after communications and bombed communications and killed maybe 200 people around communications. They bombed different places, the airport. They killed thousands of people around the airport. They wanted to take out a bridge. They killed thousands of people on the bridge. Hundreds of people on the bridge. This is what's happening. This is what went down. And now everybody said, oops, we're sorry. And you know what they give away for doing that? You know what happens? A mistake killing like that, the family gets something like $7,000. How did somebody give you $7,000 for snatching away your son or daughter and killing them? To taking away part of your life that you might not be able to do again. For taking away your mother or your father that you're not going to get again. You see, this is what they give away. This is what they give away. And they give $30 million to catch a bin Laden. $30 million to catch a bin Laden. And in the beginning, they could have got rid of him for maybe $1.50. What's the price of a .50 caliber bullet? They got people that can hit somebody from 2 miles away with a 50 caliber bullet. And that bullet, if it hits you in the toe, it might kill you. So what are they saying to us? What are they saying to the so-called 6 billion people on Earth, or the 7 billion people on Earth? People have children so fast in some countries, if it's 6 one time, the next time it could be 7 billion in a week. People just lay up in bed and have children, lay up in bed and have children. Can't support them, can't do anything about it, and just lay up and have children. You got populations growing so fast, you can't even count them no more. You just say approximately 6 million people. Can't even count no more. So I want to deliver you that. I want to let you know that. I'm sorry that I can't give you everything as soon as they happen, because I don't have the equipment. This equipment I borrowed. I don't have the assistance to do that work, to get to you earlier. I don't have no way of getting to you earlier. So I'm trying to get to you now. I don't get the help and assistance that other people are getting. I'm the one trying to tell the truth, and I don't get the assistance. Bismillah. So, I want you to hear that. I want you to understand what we must stand up against. The hatred that's flowing around the Western world for different people in the East, in the Middle East, or Mideast. It's so thick that you can cut it with a knife. You can literally say shook and cut it with a knife. And so that's what got people to vote against it. You leading to people that's trying to make wrongs right. This is what they do. A nature-born wrong or a nature-born mistake, not even a mistake, it's more of a normal thing that's born in people, is the feminine parts of their bodies and the masculine parts of their bodies. You must remember that those two parts of the body is what makes one part of a whole. I'll say that again. Those two parts of a body, masculinity and femininity, is turn around and make a whole. This is what happens. They make a whole. They make one piece. They go like that and they become one. We as individuals turn around with our indoctrination of our children and our playing with our children like they toys and cats and dogs. Stimulates one of those two things. Usually masculinity, like I pronounced it right, the masculine parts of the body is tuned in to the masculine parts of familiarity. And the feminine parts of the body is tuned in to the feminine parts of reality, the parts of the body. So when you stimulating the feminine parts of the body, you're bringing out feminine parts of the body inside of what you're stimulating. And that's what's happening. You can't raise boy children like they girl children. You can't raise them and pet them and hug them and kiss them and all that kind of stuff like they boy, like they girl children. You must let them climb a tree, fall over the fence, and all the other stuff that boys are supposed to do. You got to raise a girl like a girl and a boy like a boy. You got to make them ready for the world they must face as men and women. And you can't, this is what you have to do. You have to let them know what they are and let them know what they're supposed to be doing. You can't just go ahead and do that other thing to them. You can't be petting them. You can't buy them dolls and all that kind of stuff. Bears. A doll is a doll regardless of whether it's a bear, a lion, a buffalo, or what kind of toy it is, as long as they playing with it like a doll. You understand what I'm saying to you? I don't think you really do, but I hope you do. I hope you do. But you can't raise them that way. And this is what a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are raising their children like they females. And then a lot of them are raising the girls like they boys. You can't do that. You're not supposed to be doing that. You got to raise a child like what's between their legs. If they're a boy, they're a boy. If they're a girl, they're a girl. You cannot put things in you're not supposed to. Pretty soon, they want to be dressing like boys. And this is where the transvestite comes from. Or the lesbian come in. And you got so what happens? See, all these things are in nature anyway. But see, they can be stimulated out of us. They can be stimulated from out of us by how we raise our children and how we raise ourselves. And this is what's happening. So we're taking a thing that's a natural way of children being born, and we're raising them physically as little girls. You know, and this is what's, and so when they get to be 20, they get to be 20. When they get to be 10 years old, they playing around like little girls. And they don't want to wear a pair of pants, the boys. They want to wear a dress like their mothers. They want to dress like their little sisters. You see, you raise them like that. You raise them like their little sisters. And then, so they begin to want to be like their little sisters. So they become transvestites. They go down and get some hormone shots, and they grow teeth, dress like a girl. And the other thing about it, they don't want to cut their private parts off. Now, I'm talking to you straight up. It's nothing. I'm not going to blank it out. Whoop, beep, 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 blank. Because they hear this stuff in the street. It's ridiculous how I hear stuff and see things that's going on in the street. People see, girls see the penises of boys from the age they born. When you tell them to go put the diaper on John, they put the diaper on John, and John's like that. They put the diaper on John. And so when they got, what kills me is they got these sex shows on cable TV and whatnot, and they got the woman walk out buck naked, nothing, everything showing. But when the man walks out, they blank out his lower parts. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Why is it you're going to blank out that when a child's down the street seeing this every day? Every time they walk down the street, they see it because they know what it looks like. Well, you're hiding it from yourself. Because this is what's happening. You got shows that on TV, and a man comes in there, and the woman's buck naked and whatnot, and you see him kiss her and kiss on the chest and on the side and on the head and all this stuff, and then he disappear, and she's still standing up there looking like, and whatnot. And everybody knows about oral sex. But this is what you're doing. You're making believe. Everything is a phony. Everything is a make-believe with the Western world. Everything is a Western. So you have children that walk up and do all this kind of stuff that they're doing. Because it comes from your actions and deeds. You're kissing dogs and everything else. You got a dog that's literally sitting down over there, licking his private parts and everything, or some private parts. She got periods and she's trying to clean herself up. And she jumps in your lap or jumps up and kisses you in the face. What kind of crap is that? You see what I'm saying to you? You're living in a world that's impure. And you're talking about wash your hands before you come out the bathroom. You can wash your whole body up before you come in the bathroom. Your mind is still dirty. And this is the way you live in. And you're making things match the way you live in, the way you think. You got people turning around and voting for, they didn't want to vote for marriages between a man and a woman, and a man and a man, and a man, a woman and a woman. So they turned around and said no. Now, 10 years later, because Hillary says yes, the whole world going to say yes. It's ridiculous. You're trying to make what is wrong or what has become wrong right. It's still a woman and a man is going to be married. One of the reasons the woman and the man gets married together is because they want to justify and legalize children. So they marry together to make children together and legalize children together. And to get different kind of taxes and all the other stuff they're supposed to do together. So this is what we must do. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, rahmanir rahim, maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alaihim ghayril maghdubi alaihim waladdallin. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin, sadaqallahul
La